parole meeting. So, here to talk to my parole agent again and hopefully solve any, tell her again everything that's happened to me for the last month. Same as the month before, same as the month before, same as the month before. Uh, Hearing people talk to me all the time, telling me what to do and stopping me from thinking about doing things for myself. And making the truth and dealing with that and making it hard for you to sleep, making it hard for you to wake up, electrocuting your genitals, electrocuting your ears, playing with your anus, and telling you things about the gay community you would never want to know. And trying to get you to have sex with gay people everywhere you go. So that's basically what I'm going to tell my parole agent. And that's it. That's really been my life for a long time. So it doesn't look like it. They hide the technology in your body. Somewhere inside this head is an implant that you can use to communicate with people and do things to their body parts. Somebody thought they were really smart and they just put this in some people around the world and control how things turn out in reality. So I'm gonna go tell my and force, and then they perverted it to get people to have sex with them. They ran out of purpose. Could you imagine if you controlled everything all the time? What else is there to do? So I think these people were gay in the gay community, and in the end, they just wanted to have sex with people. It might be the end. They wanted people to have sex with them, no matter who they were. So if you're really, really pretty, if you're really, really ugly, if you're really, really fast, if you're really, really smart, any various things that one person in the gay community really likes, and he asks the people who invented this technology by any means to help him out, then this is what it's for. To force the people who are different or the same or cool or anything that makes you attractive or unattractive to have sex with them. So that's what this technology is about. In the end, it's capable of a lot of things, but in the end, they chose to use it to force people to have sex with them. So here we go. Oh, crap. So you come in here, you fill this stuff out, write your name. It's right here. Oh, doesn't work. Pen don't work. So use a pencil. Yes. So, I talked to an officer about a person who claimed I yelled at them. It was not true. Well, this was true. But the person was snarling and interfering with. Couldn't he do the same thing, just get on the sidewalk? You're telling me just drive past him, but couldn't you also say the same thing to him, get on the sidewalk? But why won't you say that to him? Because he's gay and you're scared to tell a gay person to get on the sidewalk. You're terrified. You think the gay dude will be violent because he has nothing to lose. He'll have sex out of prison and he'll have sex in prison. And there's technology in his body, so it'll be like he's not even in prison. And that's what terrifies you from addressing somebody in the gay community. Which is why you chose to talk to me, because they're not going to give me the benefits of technology in my body in prison. I'm not going to commit a violent crime. This person would, and he wouldn't suffer for it. My interfering with my ability to drive. I was talking to somebody using technology implants. That's what they talk about all the time. How much anything that happened in my life, anything I see, anything I hear, they always change it to something like a weapon to like hurt my logic or my thought process. So the psychology I have about life, they want to change it. So they use the choices I make, the choices that have nothing to, the things that have nothing to do with me, to try to change my psychology about life. It doesn't work. So when you're listening to an argument I have, it's with someone who's trying to change my perspective, wants me to change my outlook. In the driveway, in a parking way, parking. He purposefully did this and thought I would hurt him because of what he did, and wanted me him because wanted me to hurt him because of what he did. So someone's telling me to write this, what he did. The idea of when somebody antagonizes you, some people will antagonize you to get you to do something bad to them. Once you've done something bad to them, they will call the police and say what you did. They hope it's bad enough to block you away forever. They hope they can do something to you to put you behind bars for a long time. Or or something that they can then, so if you do something bad to them, they could probably do something else to you, and now it looks like nothing. Well, they'll erase or ignore or deny what they initially did to get you to respond the way they did. So all the history all that's written in history will be that you did something to them and they in turn did something to you, and now they walk free and you go to jail or you're dead. But the reality is they did something to you first, then you said something to them that was worse than what they did, or something they could use to do something to you again. And they're last. They have defense or self-defense to say he did this, so whatever I did first doesn't matter. It wasn't as bad as what he did, and what I did to respond to what he did was justified. So I'm gonna walk away. He's gonna go to jail or end up dead. So the gay community thought of ways to get rid of people. You harass them, you antagonize them, you hurt them, and hope that they respond in a way that allows you to do something bad to them and get away with it. So you start it, and you do whatever you have to finish it legally or socially. Like sometimes if it's not legal, you can still get away with it because society, the community has an idea that this is an okay behavior if somebody does this to you. So that's the gay community's way of getting rid of people in society, along with technology implants. Oh, so there's lots of ways to hurt people. There are lots of things you can do to get rid of people. You can lie, you can harass, you can stalk, you can place technology in their bodies and torture them from the inside, and you get them to kill themselves, or get them to commit suicide, get them to ask somebody else to kill them because you're electrocuting their body parts from the inside of their bodies and telling the people around them to ignore, to not help, or scaring the people around them into not helping. But there are many ways you can hurt people. Or you can kill them with technology. So you stop their hearts while they're sleeping, stop their hearts while they're exercising, stop their hearts when something exciting happens. You can squeeze their lungs while they're running, give them an asthma attack that leads to death. You can make them have a car accident, or make someone else nearby crash into their car and kill them. You can there are lots of ways to get rid of somebody who won't have sex with you. Essentially, the gay communities built this technology to get other people to have sex with them. They claimed it had a higher purpose, to make sure everybody maintained order, and as the country got stronger. So as we started producing more energy, people would have more freedom. So they thought with all that energy, there would be a way to control everyone, and or to maintain the structure, the foundation of this country. But these people perverted that purpose, or lied initially about the purpose of the technology, lied initially about the purpose of the technology. And 100 years later, when people started asking, well, when no one was paying attention, started changing that purpose for sex. The purpose changed to sex. I can use these devices to get people to have sex with me as well. I can stop. And then they use this device to stop people from start having sex with people. So not only could it be used to make sure the country was foundation never disappeared, but you can pervert it. You can pervert that power, which is what happens all over the country. Without technology, people will make bad choices. It's nature. That's the way life is. People make mistakes, or people do bad things and think, since no one's around, I'll get away with it. And it could be any crime. It could be cops who pull you over at a traffic stop and try and do things to you they're not supposed to do, because right here and now, no one's going to stop me. And when you complain about it, the person who's my boss, he's just the same as me. So he's going to write it up like, write an opinion, or have an opinion that everything I did was what police officers are supposed to do, which it isn't. Usually it isn't. But the bad people do bad things everywhere. Hello. So I'll do that. And there's nothing you can do to stop them. So I'm going to put this down. Oh, you tell. So essentially my job has always been to keep telling.
If you're going to bring your coat back, you can leave it on. I'll just wand you.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll just wand you down. I know some of those coats have a lot of zippers and buttons and stuff. Just bring the onions out. Thank you. It's just your zipper. I'm just gonna get behind you if I may.
Okay.
Just around your waistband. Okay.
All right.
Hello? Hello? Sorry. You're good.
I have a question, because I've never been here, and the alarm went out when I came in, and I do have like a knife in my purse. Is that illegal to bring here?
You lost that up.
Oh, okay, so should I just lock my purse up?
Yep, I will look it for you.
Okay, sorry.
Right. Sweet. So, sorry, I had to put the camera down. All right.
Yeah, right in.
Okay.
Phone's just going on.
I'm so sorry. Can I hit the
What's that?
light?
I don't want the light on. I can't have it too bright. I can put it on dim, but I can't work when they're on high.
Okay.
Yeah, because I get really bad headaches and I just can't concentrate.
All right. It's just I can't see facial features when
Well, I can put it on dim and see if that helps, but
Yeah.
I can't have it on full blast because
Yeah.
the halogen lights are just. I'll compromise with you if I'm able. I just don't know how dim they get.
Yep.
That's as dim as they get.
How bright do they get?
They get pretty bright.
That's a decent difference.
Yeah, that is a decent difference. All right, well, I'll see how this works.
Yeah.
But if I get, I'm shutting it off.
All right.
Okay, but I'll compromise with you then. Okay, so I just had a question about, you told me a couple different incidents, but there was the one with the guy, there was a guy in his parking, like a driveway.
Yes. At a mall.
Okay.
He was walking down the road instead of the sidewalk and the driveway. So right by a yellow area. And he stood there. And then he stared into. I stopped before I turned left, and he looked into the driver's seat. Well, you normally have to stop before you turn, anyways. But he stared at me, and then I waited because I thought maybe he'd keep walking, and then when he finished walking, I would turn in. But he stood still, and then he was staring into the driver's seat of the car. So I was like, "Well, if you want to play this, I'm not gonna turn unless I have to."
Mm-hmm.
So he stood there staring, and then he like after like 2 seconds or three or I don't know, it was like 3 or 4 seconds of staring at me. He turned his head to the right and changed his face into a snarl, like he just changed his entire facial features into like a grip, like a really bad like snarl. And then he turned his face back straight forward or down, and he did it quick.
Okay.
Like it was it was done very quickly, and then there's cars arriving, one to my right, one coming directly towards me, and so it was like social, like group harassment. The guy on the right drove in front of my car and just gave me that "What are you doing, stupid?" look.
Because
Like
you were stopped.
I've stopped in the
For
street.
because
Well,
the
it
guy
was
was on the
unjust.
road.
It wasn't justified. He
Sure.
could clearly see there's a guy there,
Sure.
and he probably also saw the way the dude looked. So it was acting. So it wasn't logical. It was just social harassment from acting like you had the logic to 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 look that way.
Mm-hmm.
But what it was so I've seen people pretending like they have a good answer. So like you sit there, you act like you're smart, you have a great answer prepared,
Mm-hmm.
but when someone asks you what your great answer is, you just keep shaking your head or you keep acting the same way because you really don't have an answer. You were just pretending
Sure.
to try to convince that person you had a good answer, but you didn't actually have one. So that is acting.
Okay.
So that's what I've learned that from the people around me. So in the community, these things I keep talking to you about are things I've learned from other people. I didn't know that you could act like you had a good answer, but really not have one. I didn't know you could act like the person was lying to you, but really this person's telling the truth. I didn't know you could, but it's psychology. It hurts it's frustration and irritation that you can project onto that person.
Okay.
So it's like I'm learning how to hurt people from the people around me, uh, uh, and and so you hurt someone's feelings by pretending like they're the bad person, or like being in a school playground where people are acting like you're a loser,
Mm-hmm.
or like a 5-year-old kid is just standing there, not doing anything wrong, but somebody comes up and pretends like that kid isn't cool or nice or mean. It's psychology. It's like you can hurt someone's feelings without actually doing anything to them physically,
Okay.
but you can psychologically abuse that person. So I'm learning that people in the community, they didn't leave the playground. They're adults
Yeah.
acting like they're children in the playground.
Okay.
And so I know it sounds incredulous, but it's my experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how you hurt people in society or continue to hurt people. You just do bad things to them. Well, use psychology. But anyways, this guy did that, and then he walked across the street in front of my car,
Mm-hmm.
and then I knew this is a constant. So when I arrived to this location, there's always some scenario.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not like you're just driving to the mall and you just go to the mall, you park your car, you get your stuff and go. There are people trying to interact with me at these locations. So I arrived to these locations. It's like there's a scenario prepared for me to have an interaction with a stranger. So somebody walks in front of your car, somebody looks at you inappropriately,
Mm-hmm.
or somebody tries to interact with you, and it's not always pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that are pleasant are discouraging because these scenarios keep appearing, and the ones that are pleasant seems like they're hiding the same
Okay.
sentiment as the unpleasant experiences you have. So they're like tricking you for like 2 seconds that you're gonna have a great experience with me if you say hi to me.
Mm-hmm.
But you've had so many bad scenarios prepared at your arrival that you doubt the nice people are trying to
I see. What
be as nice as
Yeah,
they
yeah.
appear.
Okay.
So these scenarios keep showing up everywhere I go. People bending over, pointing their butts at me when I get places, waking up and seeing police officers outside your house, somebody driving aggressively towards you, um, somebody flashing their car lights at you. Uh, they used to just walk past and say "gay," the word "gay" over and over again. Now they're bending over, exposing their butts, um, pointing their butts at me as often as they can
Mm-hmm.
without even looking.
Yeah.
Um,
What happened with the? I don't mean to interrupt.
Yep.
What happened with the work? The situation at work that you.
Oh,
contacted the police with?
I called the police and they told me they left me voicemail. I didn't even get the voicemails for like 3 days, so I don't know what's wrong with my phone. I got the voicemails
Okay.
like 3 days later, but I guess they left me voicemails telling me to contact them. But I essentially told them until the Taco Bell decides what they're gonna do with the constant butt contact, like people constantly rubbing up against my butt.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they were going. I told them to wait until Taco Bell makes a decision, because I was told in the past that you can be fired if you call the police before the company makes a call about what to do.
Okay.
And I called the police to inform them on the day it happened what happened, and that I want to keep working. So I have to wait until they decide what to do before I can pursue anything. But I watched on the internet, I heard on the internet somewhere that somebody contacted police first and then waited for and informed them of what happened, so that they were aware weeks prior or months prior to you actually calling them. Like, you don't wait a month to call the police about an incident that happened a month prior.
Right.
So the best plan would be to tell them, let them know, and then wait for your company to make a call.
Did Taco Bell or like your manager or anybody talk to you about
Yeah, my manager talked to me, and my manager talked to me, but I was told not to mention the fact that somebody else called and talked to me, because it was a private company call or something like that.
What you were told by Taco Bell not to talk about the fact that police contacted you?
Some other people. I was told not to talk about who this other person that called.
Who was the other person that called? Somebody you know personally?
No, it was no, it was they've been harassing me too. It's like gay community harassment on the internet. So the sexual harassment I have outside in the community is the same sexual harassment I have on the internet. So it's for people who don't believe that I'm telling the truth about sexual harassment in the community. You can just look at my profile on the internet. All I'm receiving is sexual harassment from gay dudes on every video I post. So I doubt these two things are very different. I doubt gay people are just going to follow me onto the internet and start sexually harassing me, or I'll get sexually harassing comments on the internet if this person isn't receiving the same sexual harassments. There's a good potential that the same things he's seeing on the internet is happening in real life. I see the facial expression that you just projected. That's hard to believe.
No, I'm absorbing it. I'm taking it all in.
Oh,
I was going to ask because I know that when you post your videos, you want as many people to know as possible what's going on with you.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about if you have the option of shutting off like the comment features, but that wouldn't make any sense if you want people to be able to communicate with you if they're experiencing the same thing.
Oh. Yeah, no, you can't shut.
You can't shut off comments.
I'm sorry. Yes, you can. That's a lie. You absolutely can.
I'm not familiar with how it works, so.
I refuse. It's just evidence. It builds evidence of character or treatment, public treatment towards any individual. You look at many videos on the internet, they're not surrounded by sexual harassment. People don't resort to sexual harassment to insult somebody. That's usually, they call people stupid. This is not right. This is wrong. But they don't resort to calling you gay or telling people you're a homosexual or calling you a rapist or things of that nature. Sexual comments. They don't resort to that behavior on lots of videos I've watched. So I'm thinking this is purposeful. I'm thinking someone has designed a treatment to sexually harass me as often as possible to get a reaction, to get something, a behavior or response I haven't given, either have sex with gay people or get angry about the comments that you can't control or the type of responses you're getting from people. So, yeah, I think. Oh, and then to answer your question, about the Taco Bell incident. So yes, people keep rubbing up against my butt at work. I told Taco Bell. They said they. I'm sorry. I talked to a manager about it. She said it's not intentional, which is hard to believe. My butt has been touched like 8, maybe 10 times at work, and that's inappropriate. More than one time is not an accident anymore. It's like people want to do this, or people are trying to do this to get a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go back to my work history, someone just reminded me in my ear to mention your work history. Uh, there are several times throughout my experiences working that I've had to call the police about people touching my butt at work. So for like 6 years, people have been rubbing up against my butt, and I've told police departments across the city, across the state, that people are touching my butt, and they keep telling me it's an accident. They keep saying there's nothing we could do about it. I volunteered. Some guys were rubbing up, and a guy slapped my butt at Bratfest. And someone just told me, reminded me of that incident. It is Barack Obama is flashing his image like a photograph of himself in my left eye, and telling me to say the Bratfest incident. And he said, well, basically at Bratfest, some guy slapped my butt, and the police said it's not worth the interest of the community to prosecute this. So it was a Dane County Sheriff's. It was, and then a couple of days later, they tried to pull me over. They illegally pulled me over because I said "go fuck yourself" out the window, and then they lied to protect themselves by saying I leaned out the window, and that justified the traffic stop. But I put my head out the window. Well, not that far, just enough to reach out, look out the window, and say, "Go, go fuck yourself." Because before that happened, the cop pulled out in front of me. He was along my route, and then he drove so fast right in front of me. It was attention grabbing. It was an aggressive driving tactic. And police officers keep doing that. And he knows that I have a history of saying, "go fuck yourself," when I see a police officer doing something intimidating. So they use their squad cars to intimidate people. Or you can use your squad car to accelerate quickly, hit the brakes quickly. And the vehicle is designed to be intimidating. So when they drive it the right way, it looks intimidating to people.
You're right.
So when they keep doing that to me, so this officer did the same thing. This is Dane County Sheriff. So I guess they were trying to teach me police officers aren't your friends. We're not here to help you. Essentially, I've learned over years that police departments are trying to get me to handle things on my own. Stop calling the police to deal with your problems. If you have an issue, deal with it yourself and suffer the consequences. But we aren't going to help you solve your issues. So that's what I'm getting from police departments everywhere when I talk about my butt being rubbed. I guess they're teaching me to strike the person, or well, that's the only behavioral history I know of. When someone touches your butt, a man's butt, they, from movies, from conversations, growing up, usually the man gets violent and does something violent because somebody touched his butt. But instead, I'm choosing to tell, and the police department is choosing to not respect that decision, which is the social or the responsible decision to make. So instead, they're redirecting me to think redirecting my call to something like to nowhere.
Sure.
This is something we can't help you with. So essentially, they just redirected me to look elsewhere. So redirecting my pursuit to solve this issue elsewhere. And the only other place I can think of is personally deal with it yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm not stupid.
Well,
so
publicly. I mean,
yeah.
you're
Or tell the
responding
public, yeah.
That's kind of how you've been able to deal with it.
Yep.
Deal with the redirection.
Yep.
Repeatedly.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's been 6 months. I have to review your rules with you. You signed them about 6 months ago, so you don't have to sign them. But I know we talked a little bit about that. You had asked me to add that rule. Do you remember? You had texted me and you said, "Hey, can you just kind of specify in my rules if I'm recording and I capture somebody's butt crack or something that." I'm going to pull up your text if that's okay.
Yeah. No, I remember. I remember.
Well, I want to make sure I word it right in the rules. Because then I'll have. Is that still something you want me to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Has it been 6 months?
It has been 6 months since you signed your rules. Yes, it's September 19th of 23 was when you signed your rules. And then every year we need them signed. Every 6 months we just have to review. But if we're going to add a rule, then you would have to re-sign. So let me just pull up your
No,
text
I
message.
remember it was important because I think I thought the things we saw in public were a freedom to record at all times. Uh, uh, and people were escaping gravity by exposing their butts and not allowing me to prove they exposed their
Right.
butts. So I think the response, yeah, I'm sorry. So getting away with consequences by preventing not being able to record these people. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay, yep. You can't record in public if you see nudity, but if you happen to be recording a nudity, comes up,
Yeah.
that you're not allowed to post on YouTube,
Okay.
right? And you have to hand to police and then destroy the footage, right? I mean, that's what you were telling me before.
That's my opinion of what you said, right?
Yes. I mean yeah, I think that we can agree that that's a good plan.
Yeah, is that it or no? Was I wrong or right?
No, that's fine. That's
Okay.
actually, yeah, that's accurate, because you want to have proof and you want police to handle it so you can show them proof and then destroy the footage.
Okay, so I can't.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so I can't pull it out to catch them, but if I happen to
Yes.
be recording already, then I can just hand it to police officers.
Fair, right? Because you can't control what happens around you when you're recording. Obviously, you can't control what other people are doing around you. So let me just add that real quick.
Yep.
Select. It's just gonna be like a listed on. It'll be special, I guess. SP Rule 5. Let's see. I'm just gonna kind of word it the way you worded it. And a nude image passes your camera. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Image passes your camera. You not post this. I'm just gonna put social media.
Okay.
If you choose to provide the image to law enforcement, you must just destroy, delete. Okay, I hope this makes sense.
Okay.
It's a little lengthy. You cannot record nudity in public. If you are recording and a nude image passes your camera, you cannot post this on social media. If you choose to provide the image to law enforcement, you must destroy/delete the nude images after.
Okay.
Does that sound about right? Okay. So then I'm going to, save that. I'm going to print, so I'll have to have you sign those before you leave. But I have to review these with you real quick. I'm not going to read them verbatim, okay? So this first one, don't get into trouble. Don't pick up new charges. 2 is to report any arrest or police contact to me within 3 days. You're really good at doing that. 3 is to sign any releases of information if you're receiving services or counseling outside of the DOC. 4 is to inform your agent of your whereabouts and activities as directed. 5 is to submit one of these report forms when you come in. 6 is to make yourself available for searches, any property under your control, including your residence. 7 is to make yourself available for drug testing, breathalyzers as needed. 8 is just to let us know if you're going to change jobs or move. 9 is to get a travel permit before leaving the state of Wisconsin. 10 is to get approval before purchasing, trading, selling, or operating a motor vehicle. 11 is to get approval before borrowing money or purchasing on credit. I'm not worried about that. I don't have any concerns about you being able to take care of yourself financially. 12 is to pay any court-ordered obligations or monthly supervision fees. 13 is the firearm ban. 14 is that you can't vote while you're on supervision for a felony. 15 is to abide by the rules of any detention or correctional facility in which you may be confined. 16 is to be honest. 17 is to report. And then 18 is to comply with any court-ordered conditions or any special rules. Then your special rules are the no alcohol, no bars, taverns, etc. The no contacts include Rebecca Brockman, Patrick Brockman, Todd Hall, and their immediate family members. 4 is not to be on Facebook due to Facebook's community standards, it looks like. And then the SO rules, no contacts with SLM, MQH, AM, nor any prior victims of your offenses, nor their family members. And then it just talks about what contact would look like, including third-party contact. Second one is to cooperate with and participate in successfully complete any SO evaluations related to risk and needs. The third one is to cooperate with, participate in, and successfully complete any SO services deemed appropriate through the evaluation process. The fourth one is not to reside or stay overnight anywhere other than a pre-approved residence without prior agent approval. If you wanted to like go to a hotel or something, just let me know. We just got to make sure we know where you're at overnight. Overnight's defined as the period of time between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. unless redefined by your agent. And then the same thing with having people stay over at your house, same hours. Let me know if you're going to have somebody spend the night at your house. 6.1 is to comply with any additional SO rules. That one that I circled before that was when we were talking about 6 months ago about the possessing images of nudity, essentially intimate parts. 7 is not to establish, pursue, nor maintain any dating, romantic, or sexual relationships without prior agent approval. Number 8 is to comply with any SO registry requirements. You're compliant. I tried this. You're good at letting them know what's going on. And then the polygraph one, which I don't know if you've ever done a polygraph, but I don't think they really do them anymore. Any questions about any of those?
Nope.
Okay.
Those people are still talking to me. And,
the
yes,
contacts?
They use technology to do it. They use technology, so it's like they're skirting around. They're stupid. They plan. I don't know.
Are any of them, do you know, on supervision?
No.
Okay.
I know it's one way. So they see what I can see, but I don't know anything personal about them. Mm-hmm. I think if I did, I start telling. Mm-hmm. So if they show me something I could personally see of them, mm-hmm. I'd tell. I would tell immediately, and it's probably going to be hard for them to destroy or lie about something I just saw. Yeah. So they use like bland images or like hard to I can determine who it is, but it's really hard to see details. Okay. It's like they do something to the image that just makes it hard to see, but I can hear their voices. I can hear I can distinguish the person. If they didn't show me the image, I can hear their voice.
Sure.
So those people are constantly, they're gay. Todd Hall and his family are in the gay community. And they use this technology to get what they want while showing people that they have no interest at the same time. So they have a means to achieve their goal, like to prove I was gay or to get me to have sex with Todd. They keep telling me, have sex with Todd Hall and or prove you're gay, so that Todd Hall can use you to become the president of the United States by getting the gay community's vote support. So that's essentially what this technology ended up becoming used for, as a social tool instead of for like social purposes.
Sure.
Instead of security purposes.
Okay.
So it was essentially to protect Americans or protect this country, but these people designed it to do more than that. And this Todd Hall and his family are gay people, and they never told me. So my grandmother was gay, my sister's gay. This whole family I grew up with, was in the gay community, and they were trying to get me to grow up to be gay just like them. And that's why they withheld all the help I could use to become prepared, well, to be successful in society. So withheld all the energy necessary until he chose to start having sex with gay people. So once I started having sex with gay people, they would start giving me energy to be successful. So that's still their goal. So even though I'm out in society, I'm on my own and I'm working, you can still interfere with life using the technology they placed in people. And that's what Todd Hall and his family are doing right as we're speaking.
It's a lot. That's a lot to deal with, John.
Yeah, they're criminal. I'm telling the truth. I don't know. Something's supposed to happen. I told. So, and this is logical. It's possible. It's in the realm of reality. It's easy to do. You can easily do this to children in infancy, and wait years or start immediately. The first time I had a sexual interaction with my grandmother was when I was 2. So she asked me one day, I was like, I remember this. She said, "Do you want to have sex with men?" I was 2 years old. She's asking me if I wanted to have sex with dudes. And it was the first time I could speak. And I remember telling her no. I said no. But she didn't listen. She continued to bring me around gay people, other gay people she knew. Because she was in the gay community. That's all only people she knew were gay people. So I didn't know it. I thought these were regular people. They didn't have colors. I'm 2 years old. So I don't know the difference between gay people and straight people. So I think they used that to their benefits. They started acting like normal, but then doing gay things. So the guys she brought me around would pull out their penises or show the genitals. My cousin was gay. He came in my bedroom, pulled his penis out, and told me to suck his penis. I think it was on Capitol Ave. Well, not Capitol, but on the east side of Madison. We used to live on the east side of Madison when this happened. His name was Lil Al. His name was Kevin. His real name is Kevin. So that was the first homosexual experience I had as a child. My grandmother, she sent a gay man into my room to see if I was willing to have sex with gay people after she asked me if I was willing. So she didn't listen. I said no, but she didn't take no for an answer. She decided that she could raise a child into a gay man by ignoring what they wanted and continuing to do gay things to that child until they got the picture that they have to grow up to have sex with gay people. So if you constantly surround your child with the gay community, you can get that kid to grow up to have sex with gay people.
That sounds incredibly traumatic.
And then, but she also figured, this is my opinion, there's technology in your body. So whether you want to rationalize this right now, years later, when you're older and they start electrocuting your genitals or playing with your body parts, you're going to wish you had listened to me. And, or I did the most I could for you. I brought you the opportunities to have sex with gay people as often as I possibly could without making it obvious. So, these people are smart. They figured out a way to rape children or raise children to have sex with gay people.
I know we were doing Tuesdays maybe for a while. I don't know what.
Any day before 11 a.m.
So we'll stick with a 10.
Yep.
Could do Thursday, April 11th.
That sounds good.
At 10. And would you like an appointment slip?
No, I'm okay.
All right. And then we need to walk back to the printer and have you sign the updated rules. I printed them out back here by the grill.
All right.
Do you want a copy with the new rule on it?
Sure.
Do you want a signed copy or do you just want a regular copy?
I'll just take a regular copy.
Okay. I'll give this one to you.
All right.
And then I'll sign this one.
Dude.
All right, we can head back to the lobby.
All right.
We'll see you next month.
Okay, well, I just told again. Oh crap, it's raining out there, so I gotta get to work. I just told again. Hopefully, somebody watching this video is hearing what I have to say and will keep telling people. That's the purpose of this channel. Keep telling.